But breaking news, Chris Rock gets absolutely whacked. Jake Paul, Logan Paul, KSI all acknowledge that they're going to be fighting in August. KSI definitely his event. Logan Paul quite possibly will be in that event. Only one I'm iffy about is Jake. I feel like Jake would want to do his own show. Why not just do like a three-headed monster and have them all fight again on the same card like they did originally and broke the internet? But breaking news, Chris Rock gets absolutely whacked. Now I usually do fight breakdowns here, and this isn't technically a fight. This is just a one-sided smackdown. But this has been quite controversial, and I think this is a good thing to talk about. I feel like there's some good takeaways here, some life lessons that we can take with us. I see that a lot of people think that Will Smith was somewhat justified in what he did. Now, me personally, I don't take it too seriously. I thought it was quite funny, especially the memes. Number one, Will Smith only did that because of Jada's reaction. If Jada had reacted differently, Will Smith wouldn't have walked up to Chris Rock and just cuffed him off the face. She felt embarrassed by it. He felt the need to do something about it to fix that. Let's not get it twisted. He smacked Chris Rock, not The Rock or any other person that would swing back. Chris Rock is a comedian hired by the Oscars, like a lot of these award shows, to not only host the show, but also roast the audience or the nominees. So we can all acknowledge that Chris Rock didn't have ill intent. He was making a joke. Not only that, but when he said the joke, he realized that it wasn't going off too well, but the feedback was like in a roast, oohs and ahs. And he even tried to pull back from it and lighten it by saying, oh, that wasn't too bad, right?
that was a nice one. Okay. I'm out here. Richard.
The only appropriate or healthy response, maybe not as funny, would be Jada flipping him the bird or Will walking up to him and sarcastically saying that he's going to beat him up or he's going to get him back. You make some sort of gesture back to not this kind of wallow in your embarrassment or your insecurity, but a way to just healthily diffuse it and kind of punch back at him. And it's fair because Chris Rock knows he's roasting people. It's natural to have a little punchline back. But for Will to hit him and then to keep his wife's name out of his mouth, the takeaway here is context, people. Chris Rock is a comedian. Yes, there are some jokes that would be over the top, but intent, context matters. Obvious that Chris Rock's intent wasn't there. Anyways, back to your regular scheduled programming here. Logan Paul's clearly been training and getting ready for a boxing match. He just acknowledged that he wants to fight in August.
You knocked it out of the park, signing Terrence Crawford, WBO welterweight champion. But who else can we look forward to?
Oh, yes. We also got my brother Logan Paul. You can look forward to him in around the August time frame.
Now, this Whindersson Brazilian guy has been in the talks of being his opponent. He's 5'9" and 78 kg, which is like 170 pounds. Here's some clips from his most recent boxing match. He has some experience, but it's not like the guy's out there knocking people out and as a 170-pound guy is going to put any fear into Logan. But because of the way Logan's been moving, I wouldn't be surprised if he's literally fighting like Nate Diaz or some other big celebrity name. I think it would be a bad move for Logan to take that fight with Whindersson. Now, Jake, on the other hand, he just tweeted out, "Free Nate Diaz." Nate Diaz is pushing to get out of his UFC contract, and he acknowledged that him being in the UFC contract, is holding him back from doing other things. And I would think that Nate Diaz would want to take a fight with Jake Paul immediately. To me, it seems like he cares a lot less about legacy and the potential of losing to Jake Paul. I think he just wants to fight and get paid. And why not do it for a huge bag against Jake Paul? Now, KSI is supposed to be fighting Alex Wasabi, but it's been leaked that Wasabi is supposed to be on the Creator Clash iDubbbz event. That'll leave him about 3 months to get ready for KSI. Granted, he wins that fight. I think that's a bit risky. I know it's smart to stay active. It really depends on the opponent. I know it's not official yet, because let's say the outcome of that fight will dictate whether he fights KSI or not. I'm not sure KSI will want that. So does that contract even get signed until after his fight in May? This to me just means that the Wasabi and JJ deal is not signed, is not official. I think the weight issue is going to be a big one. And I feel like Alex may just feel like he needs to move on to the next one. But imagine that, like a KSI, Alex Wasabi, Jake Paul, Nate Diaz, and then Logan and whoever. I really thought that the KSI Logan 1 and 2 was going to be the pinnacle of YouTube boxing, especially Logan Paul KSI 1, because it was so hard to recreate a YouTube event like that. We just had one with SoStar. But we need the big guns, the OGs, the guys who started it all. So if they end up fighting on the same card again, with where they're at now, this is the first time that I really feel like YouTube boxing has a real future. Those three guys, Jake, Logan, and KSI, have gotten so much traditional media, SportsCenter, ESPN, the real boxing world. Now it's not just the YouTube community eyes on these type of events. If they get together now, the eyeballs will come from every genre of media, entertainment, sports. This will be a whole different level than before. And I think this is an event that can be the start of really involving other influencers and people wanting to get on something that big. Because remember, that first big one is what created all the other ones to happen. And all these other influencers and YouTubers wanting to start boxing. If this event goes down and you get a bunch of big fights in the card and the performances are all great, you're going to have a whole ton more of investors and people willing to take the risk to put on an event and get more influencers. And again, I'm not sure that Jake will actually be on the card. I can see Logan and KSI because they already work together. But with how big Jake is, I think it'll be so good for the culture and for the community for Jake just to do it, just to be on the same card. The amount of fireworks it'll bring, because Logan and KSI is one thing, but if Jake is also there, this type of card will compete with the top cards in all of combat sports easily this year. Easily. Let me know your thoughts on where you're at with the Will Smith and Chris Rock situation. And who should Logan Paul fight? And should those three guys be on the same card? Would it be smart for Jake to be on the undercard of like a KSI event? Let me know. Leave a like and subscribe. Oos.